Hey guys, Sean from Firearms today. So we're at the range and we wanted to continue talking about some considerations for just different aspects of shooting, training, and all that. So one we want to talk about, and we covered it in a rifle, but to talk about it with a handgun, is the tactical or administrative reload. So the difference there is the tactical administrative reload is something that we are deciding to reload. You know, emergency reload or speed reload is going to be I'm out of ammo, I have to reload. So tactical administrative reload, we are deciding that we want to reload because either, you know, we just had to take some shots, got in a gunfight, whatever it might be. We know that the magazine inside of our gun is going to be missing X amount of rounds, whatever it is that we shot, right? So in order to set ourselves up for the best success, we want to make sure that we're topping off this gun with a magazine that has preferably more bullets or full, right? A full magazine. So what we want to do there is try to make this as consistent and efficient as possible, as well as minimizing the downtime. So the time that this gun only has one round, because theoretically I could just take this magazine out, stow it, grab my next magazine, insert it, and I've essentially completed a tactical or administrative reload. I've now topped off this gun. The downfall to that though, again, is this entire time I've only got one round left in this gun. If something pops off right now, it's not going to go very well if I've only got one round, right? So we want to try to minimize that. So there's one key feature, a key thing that I want to talk about before we go into the L shape or the cigar method for the reload. And that's simply try to always go for the magazine that is least accessible instead of going for the preferred fast, like the one that I want to go to instantly when something happens. So what I mean by that is if I'm going to go through my reload, my emergency reload, or sorry, my tactical reload, I want to avoid grabbing this one to do my reload, because now I'm taking a magazine that in a stressful situation, in an emergency, I'm going to go to this quick. That's going to be the one I want to go to by just natural nature because it's my fastest, easiest to get to. I don't want to replace that one that was full with a half, partial, whatever it might be, because then when I do, or if I do run out, I'm going to be instantly going and reloading a magazine that isn't full. So in order to avoid that, what I want to try to do is go for my least accessible. So right now in this current setup, just wearing a standard belt, my least accessible would be this back one. If I had more magazine pouches set up with handgun mags, then it would be further back, right? If I'm pocket reloading, maybe it's that pocket that's really hard to get to, something along those lines. I want to do that because again, we've taken the time, we've decided we have the time in order to do this tactical reload. I can take the time to make sure I get that one that's a little bit harder to get to. Therefore, the ones that are easy to get to are readily available, okay? So this little side tangent on that. But so two different ways that we can do this that I really like. One is essentially an L shape reload, very similar to the rifle. So magazines in the gun, I'm gonna reach for and grab my least accessible. Right now is gonna be this guy in the back. When I pull this magazine out, what I'm gonna end up doing is releasing this other magazine into my palm, and I'm creating essentially an L shape, okay? So that one comes out, then I just rotate, insert, get my click. I can give it a tug if I need to. Then I'm gonna take this magazine, and I'm going to stow it again, right back into my pouch. Now I'm ready to go. I've just completed that reload, okay? The other method is a cigar method, essentially is what it's called. Same principles. I'm going to grab that least accessible one. I'm pulling it out just like I do for a normal reload with my finger indexing on the front of that magazine. And what I'm going to end up doing, there's two different ways to do this. Not really a benefit either way, just depends on what you like. Okay, so one is as this magazine's coming out and I'm transferring it over to the gun, I'm going to slide that index finger over, and now I've got this magazine kind of like, you know, you would hold a cigar. So my thumb is free. Once I've slid that over, I can then pinch that magazine with my thumb and index finger and insert the other magazine. Okay, then this one gets stowed. Now, some people don't like to do this method because when they go to insert this other magazine, this process is a little bit different than if you were to be grabbing, indexing, and loading a magazine normally. So what they end up doing is once they've grabbed this magazine and indexed it, instead of going this way like a cigar, they'll roll this finger over, and now they're going to be using this gap in between these fingers in order to grab that magazine and then insert this one. Now that becomes a little bit more of a normal feeling reload, because if I were to just be reloading in, I'm gonna be pushing with that part of my palm anyways, so people like that method. It doesn't quite matter, but what does matter is that you always have and maintain control of that magazine so that you can stow it efficiently, quickly, and easily. So it comes down to practice. You got to figure out which way you like the most and make sure that you practice that so that it becomes a thoughtless process, something that you don't have to think about all the little pieces. Wait, how did he say to do that? What do I do with my finger? Practice it as much as you can. It's a very, very useful skill, because if we can prevent our guns from going empty in a situation where we have to defend ourselves, I mean, that's pretty ideal, right? We don't ever want to have to emergency reload. So practice those different methods, figure out what works for you. There's 100 ways to skin a cat, so find out that little tweak that you like yourself. And again, just practice it. Get as many reps in as you can. Make it muscle memory, make it second nature. We'll see you in the next one.